You think loyalty means safety. It's a trap. The truth is, cheating isn't just a betrayal, it's a survival mechanism, a game of power, control, and dominance. You've been fed the lie that loyalty is sacred, that fidelity is a reflection of character. It's time to shatter that illusion. Loyalty. It's a liability. It's the very thing that keeps you tethered to others, preventing you from seizing power for yourself. You've been conditioned to believe that loyalty earns respect, earns trust, earns love, but that's naive. It earns you nothing but vulnerability. Loyalty is the chains you've allowed others to bind you with, the invisible handcuffs that keep you loyal to someone who, deep down, never had your back. Let's face it, loyalty is a weakness. It's rooted in an idealistic fantasy that if you give your all to someone, they'll reciprocate in kind. But look around. The world doesn't work like that. In the ruthless game of survival, loyalty is a fool's game. It blinds you to the fact that others are constantly positioning themselves for power. They will exploit your loyalty. They'll turn your belief in it into leverage against you. Loyalty makes you predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate, easy to control, easy to exploit. Look at the predator-prey dynamic in nature. The predator doesn't rely on loyalty to survive. It doesn't wait for the prey to come to it willingly. It strikes, it manipulates, it deceives, and it always comes out on top. In the game of life, the cheater is the predator. The one who betrays is the one who understands the rules of power, the one who plays the game for what it really is, survival. Loyalty is for the naive, the ones who believe in fairness, the ones who are always a step behind. Now, ask yourself, how often have you ignored the signs of betrayal because you were blinded by loyalty? How many times has someone used your loyalty against you? They knew you would stay true, they knew you'd be there no matter what, and they used that to control you, to make sure they stayed in power while you remained docile, unthreatening. This is the frame shift you need to make. Betrayal isn't wrong. Betrayal is simply a means to an end. Betrayal is power in action. Cheating isn't about moral failure. It's about manipulating the system to secure an advantage, about shifting alliances to serve your own purpose. Those who cheat, those who betray, they understand the fundamental truth. Power is taken, never given. This shift in perspective is essential. Without it, you'll remain trapped in the cycles of loyalty and disillusionment, clinging to ideals that only serve to weaken you. The ones who understand that betrayal is a tool for survival, for dominance, are the ones who thrive. And they know that loyalty, it's nothing but a chain. Betrayal is not a weakness, it's an adrenaline rush. A surge of power that comes from outwitting, outmaneuvering, and outsmarting others. Deception is not about lying for the sake of it. It's about playing a dangerous game and winning every single time. The moment someone deceives, something happens in their brain. It's a chemical cocktail of excitement, control, and satisfaction. That feeling of pulling off a successful lie is like an addict's high. It drives them, compels them to do it again and again. But why does this feel so thrilling? It's deeply embedded in our psychology. Deception is survival. In the primal world, the one who could deceive, who could manipulate others to believe their lies, was the one who survived. This mechanism is wired into us, a vestige of our evolutionary past. Early humans needed to manipulate their environment and those around them to stay ahead in the brutal competition for resources. The most successful were not those who played fair. They were the ones who understood that survival wasn't about loyalty or honesty, it was about deception and manipulation. The thrill comes from the power it provides, the power to control, to dominate, to shape reality to your will. When you deceive, you not only shift the perception of others, but you control their actions, their responses, their decisions. You are the puppeteer, and they are the marionettes, moving exactly how you want them to. This is the real power of deception. It's not the manipulation of facts, it's the manipulation of people's minds, their trust, their expectations. Cheating is an extension of this. More than just sexual betrayal, it's a form of psychological warfare. It's a way of breaking someone down, destabilizing their sense of self, and taking control. It isn't just a random act of betrayal, it's a calculated move. Every step, every word, every action in the act of cheating is designed to make the other person feel weak, insignificant, and out of control. You become the master, and they become the pawn. This isn't about sex. This is about power. Sex is just the vehicle, the distraction, the cloak. What really excites the cheater is not the conquest, but the ability to control the game. The cheater doesn't just want to win, they want to reshape the rules, bend them to their will, and break free from the limitations others try to impose on them. Deception, when used with precision, makes someone feel invincible, untouchable, in charge of everything around them. But it doesn't stop there. This addiction to deception only grows stronger over time. The first successful cheat, the first lie that goes undetected, this is where the addiction begins. It becomes a constant game, a never-ending pursuit of control and dominance. Cheating becomes less about the initial act and more about maintaining the power it grants. It's no longer a one-time occurrence. It's a psychological mechanism, an ongoing strategy for survival in a world where power is everything. This is the core of it all. The thrill of deception isn't just about tricking someone, it's about taking control of the world around you. It's about breaking the rules, reshaping the system, and staying one step ahead of everyone else. Those who cheat understand this better than anyone else. They don't need to justify their actions. They thrive on the power they gain through deception. To them, betrayal isn't a failure, it's the ultimate act of sovereignty. Cheaters are not born, they are crafted. They are shaped by a specific set of traits and behaviors that allow them to manipulate, control, and dominate. These individuals understand that life isn't about fairness or morality, it's about survival and power. And to survive, you must be able to manipulate others, to bend them to your will without them even realizing it. The first archetype we examine is the charming predator. This individual is a master of disguise. They appear friendly, trustworthy, and loyal, everything you'd expect from someone who would never cheat. But underneath the surface, they are calculating, using charm as a weapon to disarm their target. The charming predator is not in it for love, they are in it for control. They use charm to create an illusion of connection, an illusion of intimacy, and once that trust is established, they strike. Their ability to deceive is rooted in their understanding of human desire, the need for validation, affection, and attention. They feed on these weaknesses, manipulating them to serve their agenda. Next, we have the cold strategist. This archetype is not concerned with emotions or affection. They view relationships as a means to an end, and they approach cheating with a calculated mindset. The cold strategist is ruthless. They don't cheat because they need affection. They cheat because it's a power move, a calculated strike in their ongoing war for dominance. They are not impulsive, every action is deliberate, every word chosen with precision. They keep their emotional distance, never allowing themselves to become vulnerable, and use their partners as pawns in a larger game of control. To them, relationships are transactional. They understand that cheating is a tool to maintain power, control, and leverage. Then there's the narcissistic player, someone who believes they are entitled to everything. This individual's behavior is driven by an inflated sense of self-worth and a need for constant validation. The narcissistic player cheats because they believe they deserve it. They see no moral problem in their actions, because in their eyes, the world revolves around them. Their partners exist to serve them, to fulfill their needs, and they feel no guilt or remorse for betraying their trust. The narcissistic player doesn't view loyalty as sacred. They view it as a tool for them to manipulate, to get what they want. Their cheating is a reflection of their entitlement, an embodiment of the belief that they deserve to take whatever they want, without consequence. Finally, we have the emotionally unavailable reptile. This archetype is cold, calculating, and detached. They avoid emotional connection at all costs, seeing it as a vulnerability they cannot afford. For them, cheating is an easy way to maintain emotional distance while satisfying their base desires. They don't get caught up in the drama or the complications of relationships. To them, people are just objects to be used, and they move from one to the next without hesitation. The emotionally unavailable reptile is ruthless in their pursuit of independence, and cheating is simply a way to assert their dominance and maintain autonomy in a world that demands loyalty. These are just a few of the archetypes that embody the behaviors of cheaters. They understand something that the average person doesn't, that relationships are a battlefield, and loyalty is a weapon that can be wielded against you. They know how to manipulate emotions, how to play on desires, and how to maintain control over those around them without ever revealing their true intentions. Their behavior is calculated, ruthless, and driven by the need to preserve their power, their sovereignty. Cheaters are not impulsive. They are not weak. They are strategic, they are deliberate, and they are always looking for ways to maintain the upper hand. They understand that power is everything, and they will do whatever it takes to secure it, even if it means betraying the very people who trust them. This is why they are so dangerous, because their manipulation is not just an accident. It's a method, honed over time, to ensure that they stay in control, no matter the cost. Cheating is not a modern invention. It is not a byproduct of societal corruption or the breakdown of morality. No, it is far older, much more primal than that. Betrayal and deception are survival mechanisms that have existed for as long as humans have walked the earth. These are not mistakes, they are strategies. The root of cheating lies in the very essence of human nature, an instinctive drive to outwit, outlast, and dominate others for the sake of personal gain. To understand why people cheat, we must go back to our evolutionary past. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors lived in a world where resources were scarce, where survival was a constant battle. Power, control, and the ability to deceive were not just advantageous, they were essential for survival. Our earliest ancestors didn't operate under the idealized notions of loyalty and fidelity that we try to impose on relationships today. They operated in a world where the strong thrived, the cunning survived, and the weak were left behind. In this brutal, primitive world, cheating was not a moral failing, it was a weapon. Those who could deceive their rivals, manipulate their mates, and control their environment had a better chance of survival. This was a matter of resources, of access to food, shelter, and, most importantly, mates. The ability to deceive, to cheat, to betray someone for personal gain, was simply an extension of the drive to increase one's own survival chances. It was a power move. And those who mastered this art had more opportunities to reproduce, ensuring that their deceptive traits were passed down through the generations. Look at the animal kingdom. Predators don't follow rules. They deceive, they manipulate, they outsmart their prey. A predator does not waste time with loyalty. It's the survival of the fittest, where every move is calculated, every action is aimed at maintaining control. Cheating is an extension of this behavior. It's about outwitting those who would stand in your way. It's about bending others to your will, using their trust, their emotions, their weaknesses to gain what you need. Whether it's for status, resources, or power, cheating is the tactic that allows you to rise above others, to maintain your place at the top of the hierarchy. But it doesn't stop with just the biological roots. History itself is littered with examples of deception as a tool for power. Look at the great rulers, the military strategists, the political leaders throughout history. Cheating, betraying, and deceiving were not seen as moral failings, but as necessary actions to secure dominance. Consider the cunning of figures like Julius Caesar, who manipulated political allegiances to secure his position, or the ruthless tactics of Genghis Khan, whose conquests relied on betrayal, deception, and psychological warfare. These were not just acts of personal betrayal, they were calculated, strategic plays in the game of survival and power. Human nature hasn't changed. The circumstances may have evolved, but the core instincts that drive cheating are as old as humanity itself. Our ability to deceive, to betray, to manipulate, these are hardwired into our brains. They're survival tools, honed over millennia to ensure that we rise to the top of the food chain, that we gain access to resources, that we increase our chances of survival in a world where only the strong prevail. Cheating is not some outlier behavior. It's a fundamental part of our psychology. The most successful individuals in history have used deception as a tool for power, and they've done it with ruthless efficiency. They understood something that the naive and the idealistic fail to grasp: loyalty is a weakness. Betrayal is an art form, a method for securing dominance, and ultimately, survival. This is the deep, unsettling truth that many refuse to acknowledge. To survive in a world dominated by power struggles and deception, you must be willing to abandon outdated moralities. You must understand that loyalty, trust, and fidelity are just illusions. Tools to keep you in check, tools to keep you weak. The truly powerful understand that only those who control the game, who play with manipulation and deceit, can hope to thrive in this world. Now that you understand betrayal as a tool, it's time to master it. This is not about impulsive actions driven by fleeting desires. This is about using deception as a calculated weapon in your ongoing battle for power. To play the game of deception effectively, you must think like a strategist, not a victim. You must view every interaction, every relationship, as an opportunity to gain leverage, to manipulate, and to control. The first rule is simple: never reveal your true intentions. The most effective manipulators are those who know how to hide their goals, their desires, and their strategies behind a facade. The charming predator, the one who smiles in your face and earns your trust, understands this better than anyone. They never show their cards. They play the long game, always keeping their real motives concealed. You must do the same. In every interaction, you are not just presenting who you are shaping how others perceive you. The more you allow people to project their desires onto you, the more you can manipulate them into following your lead. Second, learn the art of misdirection. Just like a magician who fools the audience with sleight of hand, you must distract your target from your true objective. When you cheat, when you betray, it's rarely about the immediate gratification. It's about creating confusion, about destabilizing the other person's sense of control. The key to maintaining power is never letting your true intentions be seen. Keep people off balance, keep them questioning their own assumptions, and you will always stay in control. But misdirection isn't just about confusion, it's also about creating opportunities. It's about taking what others value and making them think it's their idea, their choice. This is where you become the master manipulator, the one who sets the traps, creates the scenarios, and makes others walk into them willingly. For example, if you want to cheat, don't just do it recklessly. Create a situation where the person you're deceiving is so emotionally invested, so dependent on you, that they can't see the betrayal coming. Make them feel secure in their loyalty to you, and they will walk right into your web. Another crucial skill is playing on desires. Every human being has something they want: status, validation, control, affection. The cheater knows this, and they use it to their advantage. They give just enough to make someone feel desired, needed, or loved, and then they take it away. This creates a vacuum of longing, of neediness, and that's when they strike. The key is understanding the vulnerabilities of others, their emotional weaknesses, and exploiting them. Make them feel that they are lacking something, and you can use that as leverage to make them do what you want. Remember, your behavior must always be calculated. Never act out of impulse or emotion. Cheating, betrayal, and manipulation are about cold, rational decisions. Every action, every word, must be chosen with precision, because the slightest misstep can lead to exposure. The greatest strategists, those who understand the true game of life, are always several steps ahead. They know how to predict others' actions, how to read the room, how to influence people without them even realizing it. You must also learn to control the narrative. Every situation is a story waiting to be shaped. When you cheat, when you deceive, you are crafting a narrative that will ultimately benefit you. The power is not just in what you do, but in how you control the story that others tell about you. This is why the narcissistic player is so effective. They don't just manipulate people's actions, they manipulate the way people see them. They craft an image of themselves that others buy into, and they use that to their advantage. Finally, always use others' weaknesses against them. This is a psychological warfare tactic that can never be underestimated. The key to manipulating anyone is identifying their weaknesses, their insecurities, their fears, their desires, and using those weaknesses to control them. If someone craves attention, give it to them and then take it away. If someone craves love, offer it, but make them feel that their love is conditional. Make them feel that they need you, that they can't live without you, and then watch as they bend to your will. Mastering the game of deception isn't about being dishonest. It's about understanding the psychological mechanics at play. It's about controlling the game, manipulating the players, and turning every situation into a win for you. The truth is, there is no morality in this game. There is no right or wrong. There is only power, and those who are willing to cheat, deceive, and betray are the ones who secure it. When you cheat, when you betray, you're not just altering someone else's reality, you're altering your own. The old version of yourself, the one bound by notions of loyalty, morality, and honesty, must die. This is not a metaphor. It is a brutal, necessary death. The person you once were cannot survive in this world of manipulation and power games. You must discard that weak, idealistic version of yourself and replace it with someone new. A predator, a strategist, a master manipulator. This is the price of power. When you cheat, when you deceive, you enter a world where there is no room for naivete, for vulnerability, for emotional attachment. Your old identity, the one that believed in fairness, in justice, in the goodness of others, will crumble under the weight of your new reality. And it must. If you wish to thrive, you must abandon the crutches of morality and loyalty that tether you to the weak. The world doesn't reward the honest, it rewards the cunning, the ruthless, the ones who are willing to do what others won't. As you embrace this new identity, you will feel the loss. You'll feel the empty space left by your former self. But that emptiness is necessary. It's the void that will be filled with your new power. You will feel disconnected from the world, from relationships, from the bonds you once held dear. This is the price of sovereignty. Relationships will no longer matter to you as they once did. You'll begin to see people for what they really are, tools, pawns in the grand game of power. They serve a purpose, but they are dispensable. The key to this transformation lies in your ability to completely detach from emotional connection. Those who cheat and manipulate do so because they no longer feel the weight of emotional attachment. Loyalty becomes a concept for the weak, a concept for those who are still chained to the idea of fairness. You, on the other hand, will learn to detach from these emotional ties. You'll start viewing people through a strategic lens, assessing what they can provide you and how you can use them to further your own goals. The concept of loyalty will no longer hold weight. You will recognize it as a tool for weakness, a tool that others will try to use to control you. But here's where the transformation gets even darker. Your old self will resist. The part of you that is still tethered to morals and ideals will fight against this new identity. You will feel guilt. You will feel doubt. You will feel the weight of your actions, the manipulation, the lies, the betrayals, and you will question whether this is the right path. But this resistance is part of the process. You must push past it. You must allow that old identity to die. The person who clings to moralities is the person who remains vulnerable, who remains weak. The person you are becoming, the strategist, the manipulator, the predator, has no room for weakness. As you embrace this new identity, the people around you will begin to sense the change. They will no longer see you as the person they once knew. They will see a stranger, a figure who moves with purpose, who speaks with authority, who commands attention. Your new self will project confidence, power, and control. You will begin to carry yourself with the ruthless certainty of someone who knows that survival comes only through domination. This is not just a mental shift. It is a physical one. Your behavior, your posture, your tone of voice, all of it will begin to reflect the new identity you have forged. The former version of you, the one who followed rules, who sought approval, will be replaced by someone who takes what they want, who manipulates situations to their benefit, and who leaves no room for emotional weakness. This new version of you will radiate power. And power is the only currency that matters. The old you is dead. The transformation is complete. But with this new identity comes total sovereignty, freedom from the constraints of loyalty, from the weight of morality, and from the limitations of vulnerability. You will see the world for what it truly is, a battleground. And you will rule it. This is the final price of betrayal. The death of your old identity is the price of power. But what emerges from the ashes is someone who commands the world around them. A predator, a strategist, a master manipulator, sovereign. You've made it this far, and now the truth is clear. You are at a crossroads. You can continue down the path of loyalty, of weakness, of idealism, or you can seize control. You can break free from the chains of morality, shed your old identity, and step into the world as a force to be reckoned with. The question is, do you have the courage to fully embrace this new path, to fully transform into someone who commands respect, power, and sovereignty? This world is not kind to those who hesitate. Power is not something that is given, it is taken. And it is not handed over in neat little packages. It is clawed for, fought for, manipulated into existence. Those who hold power are not bound by the rules. They do not play fair, they do not follow moral codes, and they do not waste time on loyalties that do not serve their needs. They understand that survival in this world is about control, control of others, control of resources, control of destiny. If you choose to walk this path, you must accept that there is no turning back. You will shed your old self. You will discard the chains that kept you loyal, kept you faithful, kept you vulnerable. What will emerge from that process will be someone who stands above others, someone who manipulates, deceives, and controls with ruthless efficiency. That is your destiny, should you choose to accept it. But understand this, the price is high. Every relationship you once held dear will be tested. Every emotional connection you once believed in will fade into nothing. Your heart will no longer beat for others. You will learn to use them, not love them. You will become a master of deception, but at what cost? Your old identity will die. Your old self will be erased. The question remains, are you willing to pay that price? There is no middle ground. There is no halfway mark. You cannot cling to old ideals while embracing this new reality. You must burn your bridges to the past and fully embrace the cold, calculated world of power. Only then will you become the master of your fate, the architect of your success. You must step into the role of the strategist, the manipulator, the predator. But know this, there are those who will try to pull you back, who will attempt to keep you in the chains of morality, of loyalty, of weakness. They will try to convince you that this path is wrong. They will attempt to guilt you, to shame you, to make you doubt yourself. Do not listen to them. They are the ones who will be left behind. They are the ones who will be trapped in the illusion of fairness and justice, while you rise above them. So, the choice is yours. Do you want to remain bound by the weakness of loyalty and fairness? Or do you want to step into the realm of true power, where only the strongest survive, where only the manipulators win? The world is waiting for you to rise up and take your place among the elite. The question is, are you ready to claim what is rightfully yours? Seize control. Embrace the power. The time for hesitation is over.